Okay, so let me show you, let me reveal the version control. So here's the version control that we're going to be doing. Shoot, whoops, oh whoops, that's not right. Oh my god, what's happening? I pressed the wrong button. There we go. All right. Oh.
Herr Milkenschild Said, what control?
Oh,
Elder Colvey House said, THX again niche for subbing.
It's version control, Mr. Milkman. It's version control within, but it's direct version control. I will show you now. Yeah, this is it. Okay. All right. So well, here's my Git account. This is GitHub. Why don't I make it bigger? There we go. Here, I made it bigger so you can see it. Now, this is where I've stored my previous stuff. You know, this is just like a folder I haven't really built yet. There's nothing in here, and 2 people have already forked it. How can you fork something if there's just a README file in it? But anyway, this is cute. Topography floods in. You know, these are all Python. All of these are Python. Yeah, in fact, it says Python, Python, Python. Well, this one is actually Azure using JavaScript in the MS Bot Builder. Okay. But we are going into my organization. I created an organization called Simple Shorts, and then it's in here that I store all of our tiny games. See, so here's Tiny Game 1. You'll notice that these files are not complete. These aren't all of the files. These are the files that are unique to my particular project. You know, so a lot of the starter content. So we actually ignore all the starter content.
Baha, you used ampersand symbol again.
He used the ampersand symbol.
The
yeah, that's what we use. That's actually the silence command, is to use ampersand anywhere in the Twitch speaker. And they never fixed it. That's actually a bug, and they never fixed it. Yes, there are bugs in the Twitch speaker. Okay, so see what I'm saying? Like, this actually has starter content, and I didn't include it. But there are some things like it's hard to tell. I think it's this one, yeah. So this one is very large. It's 14.8 megabytes. So I switched this particular one file to be stored with Git Large File System, or the Large File Service. Because if you don't, you'll run out of bandwidth really quick in GitHub, and then your account will be locked until you buy more bandwidth. And Git really isn't meant to store binary files like this anyway, but it's okay if they're under a certain amount. But personally, I think all binary files really should be stored with Git LFS. Okay, and you don't version control individual lines of binaries. You know, you version control the whole binary, and then if the binary changes, then the whole thing is considered like an update, like a replacement file. What kind of binaries? Well, it's all of this stuff, you know, because this is all like compiled. The bot base, the ant bot, see all this stuff. And then when I make a landscape, my landscape is a binary. I don't remember which one it was. I think this was, no, this is only 16.3. Grass layer info, 1.42. One of these was really big. Sand tileable, 46 megabytes. Yeah, there, I stored that with Git LFS. And what sucks is you have to kind of do it manually. And I'll show that to you guys too. Okay, let's get this off. I said let's get this off. All right, so what are we doing here? Now I'm going to share my whole display. Congratulations, it's the whole display we're sharing. We'll keep this up and running because we're going to, we're not going to check anything out, but we actually are going to check things in. Here's our tiny game number 3, it's Brick Breakers. So you can even see this is my tiny game 3 called Brick Breakers. So we'll go into Unreal Engine now. Oh, I think we did go into Unreal Engine. Yes, we did. And now we open up Brick and Breakers. Oh, we have to get out of here. Now we'll open up the project Brick Breakers 3, Tiny Game 3. That's not it, Tiny Game 3. This is it. Good. You'll see that there are things missing from Unreal Engine. I mean, in the Git repository, and that's normal. That's what we want. So if you notice, there's content, and then there's starter content, maps, and framework. Okay, now if we look in here, there's only framework and maps. See, it's because starter content is static. You don't version control all this stuff that you just, that you can easily just add to the project again. This is static stuff that doesn't change. But we do have to go in and make sure that I haven't changed anything, like the props, actually the shapes. Yeah, hopefully we didn't change any of the shapes. See, like we modified the shape of our object, but that doesn't change the shape of the underlying structure, right? Okay. In fact, we'll have to, that's the first thing we're going to do is check what this was. Check what static mesh it's using. To do that, we have to find out, we have to go down to the static mesh. Yeah, we're using the shape narrow capsule. And then all we've done is just stretched it out a bit. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so here's the first thing I wanted to show you. This is how far we've gotten last time. We finally got it to where you can move where you can move this left and right. But as you notice, it's off center a little bit. Yeah, so that's the first thing we have to fix. For some reason, it reverted. See, it reverted. So now it's off center. So the base is wrong. Sky sphere mesh. No. Okay, there we go. Okay, the default scene route. The capsule collision is correct, but then the static mesh is wrong. See, that's the wrong pivot, so that's the first thing we have to do. But we fixed this once. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why it switched again. Where's that frickin' pivot? Yeah, there you go. Pivot center. There. Accept. Okay, now we have to go into this actually. And the reason is this is incorrect in here now, see? Oh no, it's correct. It's correct, so why does that keep happening to us? See? This is correct. This is not. So how do you update this? Static mesh BP. No, it wouldn't be BP, would it? Well, it could be. Okay, so then let me show you how far we've gotten in the framework. So we have our BP pawn bat, okay, and that's what this is supposed to be. However, it doesn't, it's wrong, it's off. And I don't know how to correct this. It kind of bugs me. But anyway, if we drop one in here, see, now this is the right one. This is incorrect, this is correct. So if we switch this to 0, 0, 0, I said if we switch this to 0, 0, 0, then it should be centered. Yeah, I really don't know why that keeps changing. Now we'll see that it... Oh. But yeah, but now our spline is messed up. We have to fix the spline now. So the spline tells us...
Madame Roast biffait son cède, also. Is that Halloween sale still happening? Arrobas Mr.
Oh, which
Norman.
Halloween sale? PP Pawn Bat 2. I don't know why it says 2. Okay. Oh, let's see. Yeah, we also had to fix the arrow, the camera. Where is the spline? Yeah, let's switch the spline so it starts at 0, 0, 0. There. Compile, save. And then, see, that does update. It updates it properly. Okay, so let's take a look and see how it's moving. Yeah, it's moving incorrectly. So now we take the spline and just drag it and correct it ourselves. Where is the spline? There it is. Now the spline is way out here. I don't know why the spline is out here. Oh, this is so aggravating. No, actually, it's down here where it's supposed to be. Okay, there. Okay, so here's the first one, here's the second one. We're going to make this negative 700. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Herr
Good.
Mirkishid Said, I'm not sure about Steam, but Dog one is HR today, madame.
You know what? That was the wrong thing. We have to do 0, and that puts it back where it's supposed to be. Okay, now we have to find the spline point. World settings. Spline. Oh, here's the selected points. Okay, here you go. So now we'll do negative 700. There we go. And then this second one is 700. There, that puts this right. Yeah, so this one is now. And it unselected it, so now you have to select it again. Oh dear Lord, this thing is such a mess. Selected points. Yeah, well, I want to select a point. There you go. 700, and then the previous spline point is negative 700, which is down there. Now if we press play, we should see that we can, yeah, see, it's pretty much how we want it. We'll have to tweak it a little bit more, but we'll get there. Yeah, this thing is temperamental.
Elder Colvey House said, which game is that?
Which game are you talking about, madam? Okay, so we've got that. Now let's open up the tutorial.
Madame Roast biffait son cède. I know that Fallout 3 GOTY Edition was free en Epic.
Yeah.
Main croisée, visage souriant.
Is that what you're talking about?
Main croisée.
Is that the game you're talking about? Okay, let's get into Brick Breakers. That's not working. Brick Breakers. There we go. Yes. Okay, first things first, and then creating a taking control. There, this is how far we got. See, we got all the way through this page, and we got down to where this feels a lot better. Hopefully it does for you too. This brings us to the end of the module. So we should essentially have this, which I'm sure we do. See this blueprint? It's the move bat, and this should be in the, well, let's find out where it is. I don't know exactly where it is. I think it's in here, the event graph. Bat timeline logic, and then no, it's somewhere else. The player controller, that's where it is. Yeah, there it is, move bat. So this should look very similar, practically identical to this, which it does. So that's where we left off last turn. So in the player controller, we have on an event on possess, so we can cast this to the BP pawn bat, and then we set it, and then we print it just in case the cast failed. And then we have and then this is what takes the mouse input and then controls the paddle. Oh, and Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, we've got multiple people. Multiple.
Shield Said. Oh yeah, NV is Ultimate Edition with all DLCs.
Yeah, Dunbrine is playing that currently.
Yeah, Dun is playing that currently.
Okay, so let's continue with the, there it is. Copy the, okay, so that's the end of this. So now we start just add gameplay. Just add gameplay. This is the 1, 2, 3. This is like the fourth module now. Okay, now in this one we'll focus on finishing our prototype, building out the rest of our actors, creating an environment, and crafting mechanics via actor interaction. By the end we'll have something fully playable. Last time we set up the bat, and what is a bat without a ball to thwack? So let's make one. So here's how we're going to make the ball. So firstly we need to create another new blueprint actor. So we're gonna, yeah, and we'll name it we're gonna name it BP ball. Okay, so we'll do that now. Let's get that player controller up there. I said let's get the player controller up there. I don't know why that happened. Okay, so in the framework we're going to make an actor and we'll name it BP ball. See, so we have our pawn bat right here, and then we have a BP ball. Oh yeah. And then open it up in the blueprint. Fine, we're opening it up. There we go. Okay. As is with the case of the bat, this is currently a ball in name only, so we're going to need a few components. Firstly, we need to add a sphere collision component and name it something like collision ball. Okay, so let's add a sphere collision, and then we'll name it collision ball. Yeah. Okay, and then if you remember when we designed our bat, there were certain elements we wanted to remain untethered from the pawn's movement, notably the spline and the camera. Yes, given that we won't need this for any of our balls, we can make our new collision the root. Okay, so we'll just plop. Do we really want to do that? Let's not do that. By dragging it over the default scene in the component view. Now time to head to the details panel to set up the component. We want our ball to be a world dynamic object with block all collision presets, yes. But we also want it to be query only because we'll be managing the interactions via gameplay logic. Oh. To do that, set the collision preset to custom and then modify the collision enabled setting to query only. Using this workflow allows us to keep the other presets from block all, even as we move to a custom setting. So we have to, yeah, okay, good. He shows us the screen charts. So here's the collision. Yeah, wait. So we don't have a ball yet. This is just a collision. Okay, so we have to do everything he said down there. So let's burst a ball. Let's leave gravity on. Let's see what happens. Whoa! Poop. Ah. Okay. Yeah, so we have to turn gravity off. Let's find gravity. There is gravity. Obviously, we turn that off. Okay, now we have to go down to collision, generate overlap events. Can character step up on? Yes. Collision presets is going to be query only. That's interesting. I don't see that. Collision enabled to query only. Oh, custom. Custom. Okay. And then the collision enabled is query only. Yeah, no physics collision. And then the object type, we have to keep that world dynamic. And then we have to, whoa, there's a lot of, we have to change a lot of this stuff. So the trace responses should be, we should ignore the camera and the visibility, and then the object responses, we have to block all of these. I see. Okay, so it should look just like that. Simulation generates hit events, yes.
Elder Colvey House said, "We'll do the physics ourselves. We just need to know when ball hits stuff."
Yeah, now we also need continuous collision detection. Yeah, that's what this is. Continuous collision detection. Okay, we've got all that saved. Ding ding, compiled. Let me make sure. Let me see if he actually explained this. To query only. He didn't really explain it. See, you have to. He didn't explain that this should be visibility camera, world static, la la la. And this is all about the collision itself. Not see, now we need to add a static mesh and name it SM ball. As our collision is now the root, the mesh is automatically added as a child. Okay, so we're going to add a static mesh sphere. And there it is. SM ball. There's our static mesh ball. But we're going to put it under that. Yeah. Okay, now we have to resize it. In the details panel, set the mesh to something appropriate and the collision type to no collision. Okay, collision type is no collision, and the reason is because we're not controlling collision with the ball. We already have a collider up here, and that's why we're doing it that way. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Collision, 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 collision. Collision presets is going to be no collision.
Overseer Steven said, "Hey, Colvey."
Hey, there's Steven even.
Elder Colvey House said, "Hi, it's Stephen Brunello."
Do you guys want the stream avatars on? Let's turn them on. Just for sharts and giggles, we might as well, right? Let's get those on.
Herr Milton Shield Said, hi Stephen.
Okay. Okay. There we go. And now stream avatars should start popping up in just a second. They should pop up all over the place. There they are. Good. All right, now what were we doing? Yeah, we have to just add water. That's it. Yeah, no collision.
Hey everyone.
With both of these components in place, we can
Also,
quickly
if it's
scale
open,
the
it's
spear
fantastic.
mesh to match the collision and center both components, making a ball shape. Now we just need ball behavior. Okay, so you see what we're doing. Now we just have to do this. RE. Oh, come on, ER. There we go. So I have to reduce this until it's roughly about the size of the collision. So let's zoom in a little bit. Whoa! Stop! Please stop! How's that? Yeah, there we go. That looks just right. And that wound up, our scale wound up at about 61, 61, 61. So that's good. Oh yeah, slots is working now. The slots are back up and running.
Slots 1000.
They're back up and running. What does it say now? Yeah, with both of these components in place, we can quickly scale the spear mesh to match the collision and center both components. Okay, now we just need ball behavior, and we'll add the ball's key element, a projectile movement component. So projectiles are essentially self-propelling actors, and while they are most commonly used for ranged weapons, if you've ever thrown a grenade, you've used a projectile. With a little tweaking, they can fill a far wider range of roles. So if you're wondering what this is a it's called Lyra.
This is a sample game in UE5. Lyra.
See? Yeah, we can actually load this game and play it, but I'd have to play it in Unreal Engine, which is okay. It's a really good game, and it uses all of the latest Unreal Engine 5 features. So I'm going to experiment with that later on. You know, I've shown you a few different games that Epic has produced. I mean games, but actually more like projects, right? Like there's the Matrix, that Matrix City Simulator. Remember that? Yeah, that worked here in Unreal Engine 5. Well, that was just another one of those. Whoops, I just shut it down. What was I just looking at? Okay, ignore all the porn. I'm sure there's porn in there. Yeah. Okay. We're back to gameplay. There. Okay. The grenade, yeah, from the Lyra sample game uses the exact same projectile movement component. In our case, we're going to use the projectile movement system to imbue our ball with velocity and acceleration, tweaking its friction and allowing it to bounce in the process, transforming a bullet into something else entirely. So we'll do this all in the projectile movement settings. Yeah, but yeah, I saw that. Also, The Witcher, the original Witcher, is going to be resharded in Unreal Engine 5. Though I don't know why they don't just use RTX Remix.
Yep. Though I don't know why they don't just use RTX Remix.
Maybe because if they're remastering it just for a new game engine, that's actually what RTX Remix is for. So you don't have to do that. And RTX Remix would be a lot faster for them if they were to do it, unless they're adding extra features to the game, in which case they need to do it in their in the engine itself, and not just RTX Remix. I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't use RTX Remix. Okay. So he forgot to tell us Oh, add the ball's key element, a projectile movement component. Okay, so that was actually a command. It's like, we must add that. Okay, projectile movement. Projectile. There it is, right there. Now, I don't know where it should be. I think it should be under... I'm not sure exactly what order this should be in. Let's, is it going to show us? He doesn't even show us. Oh God, what is wrong with you? Yeah, so we add projectile movement. Okay. I'm going to set my initial speed to 1500 and the max speed to 35. Okay, I think that's too much. Initial speed is going to be, let's say 1500, and then the maximum speed will only be 2000. Okay. Not too slow, not too fast, but feel free to tweak it. Then we need to tune down the physics a bit, dropping our gravity scale to 0. There it is, projectile gravity scale. And then checking should bounce and setting bounciness to 1 and friction to 0. So yes, it should bounce. Bounce angle affects friction. Well, there is going to be no friction, so we don't need that. Bounce velocity, stop simulating threshold. Interpolating the movement, huh? And increasing the simulation iterations to ensure we keep things accurate and responsive. Okay, as with continuous collision detection, there's a performance cost to increasing simulation, so apply your best judgment. Okay, rotation follows velocity, should bounce, gravity scale. Yeah, stop simulation to 5. Okay, see, here's what we're doing, projectile simulation. Maximum simulation time step is right, but the maximum simulation iterations, let's make that 12, just like he did. And then bounce additional iterations 1, and then the projectile interpolation. So where is the projectile interpolation? We have to interpolate movement, we have to interpolate rotation, and then interpolation time is 0.1, 0.5, 300, 500. And then the velocity. I guess this is the initial velocity. Yeah, this must be the initial velocity. Okay. There. Compile, save. Finally, since this is 2D and 3D space, we need to make sure the ball doesn't go flying off in the wrong dimension. To do that, scroll down to the projectile components, planar movement settings. Scroll down to the projectile components, planar movement settings. Oh yeah, and check constrain to plane. See, because if we don't constrain it to just that one axis, and then see, it goes flying off into the distant. So we need to, this is a 2D game, so that's why we're constraining it. Planar movement settings. There we go. Constrain to plane. And then now we have to set the Y value to 1 and prevent it from ever moving on that plane. Okay, yeah, I see what we're doing. So this constrains it. There, constrain to plane, constrain on the Y so it doesn't move forward or backwards. That's it. Custom. Good. All right, that is our basic broad strokes tuning pass. When the time comes to balance the game, we may want to revisit this. So now we have a ball, but how do we get it into the game world? Well, we spawn it into existence. Before we spawn it into existence, let's actually plop it into existence first, just to see what happens. Okay, 0, 0, 0. and then I'm going to put it right about here. Now let's just see what happens. Whoa! It went flying in the wrong direction. Now why did that happen? It's because the ball sucks. That's why. Okay, let's take a look at this BP ball. Static mesh ball. Then the collision ball, default scene route. I think it's because we're going to have to rotate it 90 degrees, huh? Yeah, because if this is x-axis and then this is the y-axis, yeah, see? Okay. Hey, we'll figure it out. But I don't know which way I would want to rotate it. Okay, well, let's just try something. Sometimes you just have to try stuff. 30, 60, 90, there. Okay, now we compile and then save the level and see what happens. No, it still flies off in the wrong direction. So whatever I just did there, I can't undo it. Yeah, see, that's another problem, is like once you compile something, you can't undo. See, you can't undo after map saved. So that wasn't it. I think the projectile movement, no, the projectile movement doesn't have anything on it. You know what, I'm going to have to make the collision the default scene route. Yep, that's what we're doing. Okay. I don't think this will change anything. Yeah, see, it still goes flying to the left. And I think it's because the axes are flip-flopped.
Elder Colve House said, whoops, axes are flip and flopped.
But I don't know how to Here's the ball and here's the collision. It doesn't really make any sense. Well, I think we're going to have to then rotate it in the world. Okay, there's that. So I just rotated it in the world and now it goes upright. Okay. And let's also make sure that it's, yeah, it looks like it's staying, like it's constrained on that axis. Now, you know how we disabled gravity? Well, let's enable gravity again. Where is that enable gravity? Oh. The collision. I don't think it matters if I enable gravity there, though. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So we have to like undo that. Unenable gravity. There we go. Okay, projectile movement. See, enable gravity scale. Now if I do enable gravity scale 1, now let's see what happens. Yeah, see, now it's going to boing. Well, look at this. That's fun. Boing. Boing. Yeah, it's working.
It's Wokings.
So at least we got that. You know, sometimes it's good to just check that you actually have collision working correctly. But the gravity should be 0 because it doesn't fall back down. We could make it fall back down, but we could have it like just a little bit of gravity, but we could even make that a variable so that some levels have gravity, but then some don't.
At Mr. Milsman, we could make it so some levels have certain gravity.
Yeah, and then here's something else we can do, which I think is funny. Look what I did. I was just experimenting, Mr. Milk. We can also do this. Now watch this. Hey. It undid what I did.
Hamilton Shield Said, that would be cool.
Here, take a look at this, Mr. Milkman. Here's one thing we could do actually is, so we add a spline point. There. That's what I wanted to show you. And then add a spline point. Oh yeah. And this goes up like that, and then over and up. Okay, now see, look what we do. We could have one level that's like this. Like if you want, you could stay down here, but you can go way up here and break the and like bounce the ball way up here. See, we can do anything. So the spline would have to be a variable. However, that's quite all right. Okay. This doesn't affect the original one. Or it better not affect it. Oh no, what if it affects it? Let's make sure we didn't affect it. Yeah. This is still the blueprint. See, then we can modify anything we want.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so that's just one idea. We should probably get rid of that level, but okay, back to level 1. Yeah, sure. Now here's our level 1. Do we have this working correctly? Yeah, we're going to reduce that a little bit, but yeah. Okay. Spawning the ball. Spawning an actor means that we're creating it during the game session rather than pre-placing it on a map. As we want the ball to appear aligned with the bat, it makes sense for the bat to spawn it. In fact, we've already done it. Remember that arrow that I created? To pick up where we left off, open the player bat in the blueprint editor and create a custom event named Spawn Ball. This will want to connect to a spawn actor class with our class set to b-ball. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is destroy that. See, it's destroyed. It went away. Oh, he went away. I don't like this name. Can I rename this? No, I can't rename it. Oh shit, I can't rename it. Oh yes I can. There we go. There we go. PP Pawn Bat again. Okay, now I want to gameplay actors, reflection, volumes. Gameplay actors. Player start. Okay, we're not going to use player start. Let's get rid of that. Gameplay actors. Okay, yeah, we'll use that. We need the pawn bat up into the gameplay actors. There. Okay, so now we go back into the bat's event graph. So now we're going to do event begin play. Now we do reset bat, but then what's weird is that it's not here. See, so this is already a problem. Open up the player bat in the blueprint editor and create a custom event named spawn ball. Spawn ball. Okay. Create custom event. Spawn ball. Okay, and then I'm also going to make this callable in the editor. He doesn't tell you that, but essentially all your functions, your custom events, you should name it, you should add call in editor so you can actually reference it. Well, I added a custom event, but why does it... Oh, I see. Okay, so here's the custom event down here, okay? And then we'll want to connect to a spawn actor from class node with our class set to bball. What?
Elder Calve House said, this is where the tutorial really falls short.
Pick up where we left off. Yeah. This will want to connect to a spawn actor from class. And then the event begin play is going to, but we have to have the reset bat burst. Reset bat, okay, and then we're going to do spawn ball. Call function. There it is. See? So, and then here is our custom function. So what this is doing, it's essentially, it does the reset bat first, and then it does spawn ball, and all this does is just run this event. Okay, got it. However, if we don't tell the engine where we want to spawn it, it will appear at the center of the map. To rectify that, we're going to call the arrow component reset. It's positioned just above the bat and faces directly upwards, which is exactly how we want our ball to appear. To use the arrow, drag a reference to it from the event graph and feed it into a get world transform node, just like this. Okay. Which gets us the location and facing of the arrow in world coordinates as opposed to its position relative to its parents. This we can plug into the spawn transform input on our spawn actor node and we're good to go. So that's how we're going to do that. Okay, so where's that arrow bat spawn point? There we go. We could rename it that. Arrow bat spawn. Arrow ball spawn point. Why did he say bat spawn point? This is where the ball spawns. Okay, and then we're going to do get world transform. There. Well, I already had it. Okay, the target and then return value goes into spawn actor. Okay. Spawn actor from class. And then the class is the B ball, well, what the BP ball. Right there. There it is. There is our Kaflipadoodle. But then we have to wire this up to that. Yeah, I don't want to miss that. This looks a little messy, so let's clean it up a little bit. Actually, let's put this... No, let's not put that down there. Yeah, let's put that down there. And then what I'll do, I'll just make it look nicer by doing this. See? There! There.
Elder Colve House said, just a little spaghetti.
And then always spawn. Always spawn. Ignore collisions. Okay. Now let's just see if it works. I don't know if it actually works yet. Oh, yes it does. In fact, do you notice how it went over to the right a little bit? It's because that's exactly what we did. Remember that, Mr. Milk? Here, check it out. Check it out. Ha! It's ever so slightly off. In fact, I do actually want to 86, 87, 87.5. There. That's what I wanted. Save all. Okay, now. Yeah, see, now it's going off to the right just slightly. Good. Oh, Sir Pazzy's here.
Hi yet, sir.
Oh, and Dave the Damon is here. Or at least they're here in spirit, right? Yeah, if anyone just joined us now, we are building a game in Unreal Engine 5 called Brick Breakers. And it's from a tutorial in the Epic Dev community. It's not a very good tutorial, but yeah. However, before we can start playing, we need to work out the appropriate time and place to trigger all of the spawn logic. Okay, for testing purposes, it makes sense to use our player controller and call spawn ball on the bat after possession. Okay, and then once we get beyond the prototype phase, however, we'll have to revisit this system and make it a little more robust. Okay. Let's see. The appropriate time and place to trigger our ball logic, but that's what I did here.
We need tutorial for tutorial.
Yeah, we need a tutorial just how to make tutorials.
Yeah, take a class, man.
Yeah, tell me about it. Player controller. Once we get beyond the prototype phase, okay. So that's what he wants to do here.
Or some kind of manual.
Why is this here? You know, I don't think he meant the player controller. Spawn ball on possession. Event possessed. We're still in. We're not in the player controller though. See, that's the sucky part. He doesn't mention it. And I'm not sure where we're supposed to put this. It's not event possessed. Where do we put this? Come on, man. We have to open up another Unreal Engine. I have to see what I did. You know, I actually got this all working fine previously, so we just have to look at a previous, so something else I did. Hang on a minute.
Will be Baha in leaving my eyeballs in the stream.
Okay, man.
Okay, man.
Let's get to level 1 and then recent projects. Tiny Game 3.0. I think we're gonna have to try to open this up. And I need to find out where I did event possessed. I just don't remember where. And I might be able to search, but I don't remember how you search. Yeah, so here's our project. Event possessed. Yeah, I don't know. There, find maybe. Yeah. Possessed. I'm possessed. That can't be right. Compile back to title screen and then see. So where in the hell is it? Like I have to learn how to search across all of our stuff. We don't really have a good search feature. Yeah, it's not going to happen in here. So it could be in the pawn bat. Let's see if get world transform, spawn actor, allow respawn, lose life, begin play, play rate, lose life, BI update. So I didn't put it in there. Did I put it in the ball? No, did I put it in the player controller? Oh, we did put it in the player controller. Okay, here it is. Event on possess. Well, we didn't know. We don't have that. We don't have a event on possess spawn ball. In the current, Control Shift F to search in all blueprints. Ah, okay. See, we only have a here, and it's in the player controller. It's the only one. On spawn ball and possess. Spawn ball. But that's not how we did this. Event possessed.
Elder Colvey House said, I don't know, let's just pick a place for this.
So he says, however, before we can start playing, we need to work out the appropriate time and place to trigger all our spawn logic. It makes sense to use our player controller and call spawn ball. Once we get beyond the prototype base, however, we'll have to revisit this system. Oh, that's why it's not there. Okay, so let's make this in the player controller. Okay, that makes sense. So let's close this whole thing now. And now we've only got this. Let's get in. Where's our player controller? Where is it? There it is. Okay, event begin play, input access move, and event on possess. Event possessed. Spawn ball. Nope, it didn't like that. So what's the problem here? Therefore, target must have a connection. Here. But that seems this now there's two.
What the fuck? That's what I thought. Too.
And they go in different directions too. Spawn ball. But see, then we're already spawning the ball somewhere else. Here. Reset that and then spawn the ball. And then spawn point, get world transform, and then spawn transform. That's it, see? Spawn actor BP ball. Why did he say we needed to do this? Oh, it's freaking weird. Yeah, so spawn ball, and then we have this event right here. Right here. But then it doesn't seem to follow our commands when we do spawn ball. And I think that might be because nope, I have the ability to call it in the editor. I don't know why it isn't working. Spawn ball. See, this is going in the right direction, but that isn't. Spawn ball. See, we even have the ball spawn point, but the other thing takes care of that. Has to BP pawn bat and then spawn ball. Yeah, I don't see why it's going in the wrong direction. Well, let's not do this right now then, because we've already got one that works. Oh, that's going in the wrong direction. But then why is this one going in the wrong direction? Because we got world transform and then spawn actor BP ball and then print string we spawned. Let's make sure. See, it's a oh, but we spawned twice. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Possessed pawn. Event on possessed pawn. Yeah, we did all that in the BP pawn bat. See that? Arrow ball spawn point, get world transform, and then return the value, and then you know, that should have worked. Spawn event. See what happens if I break this. See, then it goes straight. Okay, well that's good to know. And this is the one. Okay, let's disconnect this. And compile and save. And now we should get one ball that goes to the right. Nope, and it goes straight. I don't know what the problem is there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. And this guy doesn't help at all, does he? So we got all that. Okay. Spawn ball, yeah, and then spawn ball is that. And this is exactly what we did. Okay, then let's disconnect it. Let's disconnect this whole thing. And now go straight. Wait, blueprint runtime error. This BP pawn bat. Well, don't worry about that. Well, everything was fine until we actually oh, well, we have to do this. This is part of it. See, then as BP pawn bat, then set BP pawn bat. And then where we had this, we then have begin play, reset, and then spawn ball. And spawn transform, let's just split this up. Yeah. Can we jump link connection? Break link to, jump to connection, straighten connection, select all output nodes. Yeah, arrow ball spawn point. And we have it set to this, see, 87. And then I even have it going into here, get world transform, and then spawn transform, and then spawn actor BP ball. And print string. Yeah, I don't know why it isn't. Oh, actually, I think it is.
Elder Colvehouse said, "Oh, it is. My eyes are bad."
Duh. Yeah, see, if we 87.5, if we change it to 80, then it would be there. It's working. Yeah, let's just not farg with it anymore. 87.5. Okay, it's fine. God, this guy, I swear to God. Oops, looks like we need some walls to bounce off of. It should be easy enough to knock together a quick test environment. I built mine by taking standard cubies from the Place Actors Shapes menu and scaling them on X and Z, but you could use the geometry tools if you want to get fancier. Default collision settings should be fine, but block all would work too. Okay, so now we're going to do that. We have to build walls. So what's the best way to do that? How am I going to build my walls? why don't we use the geometry tool? Because if we do this geometry tool, then we're able to wrap our, then we can change the textures and the UVs really easily. Okay, now let's start with the cube grid. It doesn't really matter here. But we just have to get something going. So like, I think a 1 cube grid should be enough. And then I'm going to pull it out. See, how does that look? Kind of like that. Okay. Block base size 3125. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, let's actually undo this. Block base size. And then power 2, blocks per step 1, show gizmo. Blocks per step. Oh, let's do 2. Okay, then pull. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, something like that.
Herr Milkenschild Said, im Baha, how is it going?
Oh, it's going pretty well. It's a little goofy, but... Oh. We might not be able to do what... Oh shit, we can't do that. Okay, hang on. There. Now 1 block per step.
Those are boundary walls.
Yeah, they're going to...
Elder House said, going well. The idiot tutor screwed up our ball.
Yeah, well, they will be boundary walls. I'm just getting a basic shape so then we can manipulate it. You know, like it's not going to be, this isn't going to be necessarily right, but all we have to do is just get it close. Okay, now we have to find out where it put it. Okay, so where is the, it is called Cube Grid Tool Output. So let's find it. There it is. So the first thing we're going to do is rename it to wall. SM wall. There's our static mesh, and see how it generated it, but we're going to put it in
Weißgruber.
a folder called actors. See, I want to get it out of there. Move here. There. So now we don't have to worry about this stupid generated thing. Framework. Actors. Okay, so there's our wall. Now see what we can do. We can just attach a material to it, like let's say brick. And there's our brick. Oh, it's brick amazing. And immediately that looks pretty good, but let's say we wanted to change it a little bit. So now we go into our UVs. There it is. And then we do project. See, like that's clearly, obviously wrong. So let's uniform dimensions 70.
Mass abduction reports all over the state.
What? Mass abduction reports all over the state? Yeah. Oh, because it has to be a box. There we go. Yeah, see, so if I do something like this, okay, now the bricks are a lot closer together, and then...
Alien.
See? See, and then I accept it, and then that stamps it, and it remains just like that. Okay, so now let's just press play really quick. Now, as you can see, that's out of the viewfinder, so that's not exactly correct. Let's just position it properly. Error may be here. So that does look right, but we got another problem now. This is too high, but rather the camera is too low. The camera needs to be higher. And let's see if he tells us that. If you're not sure what to do here, either way, as long as the layout remains Y-aligned, with your bat, whatever your chosen method will be okay. Okay, yeah, let's fix this now. So we have to start by going into the camera. Where's the camera? Yeah, so we have to go back into our BP Pawn Bat, which is here, and let's go to the viewport, look at our camera. So our camera is way out here, but it needs to be higher. See? So it's currently 3720. Let's make it higher. No. I mean, it's 835. That's the height. 835. Oh, let's do 1000. Okay, compile, save. Press play. Okay, that's better, but that's still not quite high enough. Let's do 1150, and let's see where that gets us. Aha! 1200. 1200, and that's the 1200. Hey, up there.
Schulzer liegt 3000.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the camera is now correct. Now let's correct this. So here's how we correct those. So this is currently, actually, is this right? Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's it says negative 718. Let's just make it a nice negative 725. Yeah. Okay. And now what we're going to do is stretch it. So we take our Stretchima tool, Stretchima jig, and stretch. Whoa. .25. Now let's see if that does it. Whoops, oh shit. Okay, just 2. Aha! Okay, so 2.1. Ta-da! La 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 la. And I also notice it's a little too thick.
Erectus.
It's a little too thick, so let's smash it. Down to 0.35. I like how it's nice and wide though, because you'll actually get to see the 3D effect slightly. Do you see that? Okay, so there's that. Yeah, and we can change that. See, like I could even do this and give it a really interesting 3D effect. Do I want to do that? No. Not right now. Let's not do that just yet. We might fart around with that later. But for now, we're going to duplicate this. Okay, so see, now I've just duplicated it, but where do I stick it? Well, this is negative 725, so this is going to be 725. And these go into actors. And then this is wall right. And then we have to make a third one across. So we actually take this and we are going to copy it again. And now we have to rotate it. there to 90 degrees, and then keep moving up until we get to about here, or roughly. We want as little overlap as possible. There, that's exactly right. Good. Now let's see if this works actually. Yeah, whoops, that should be, doesn't quite fit. Well, we're talking about the scale here, so that's why it's not quite snapping correctly. Okay, so we made the scale. Let's find out what's moving. Ah, there it is, okay. Okay, 1.2, 1.21. Let's just get it as close as we can. 1.215. Nope. 1.212. 1.211. That looks pretty darn close. So close, in fact, that you'd never be able to notice that it, yeah. There! Bonk! Hey, I think we've got our play area. Bonk! There we go. It's working. Please enable real-time mode with, oh, but you know what? The spline is too wide now. Yeah, remember, we don't have collision, so the paddle doesn't know. Paddle doesn't actually know that we're, that we're colliding. So we have to drop the spline just a little bit. Okay, so now we go to our BP pawn. No, we don't. No, we don't. We go back to the level itself. Here's our spline points. Okay. So here's the BP pawn bat. And where's your spline points? Yeah, so here's one spline point. Okay, it's at 700. Well, let's make it more like 660. If I had to take a guess. And then negatree 660. That's not a spline point, that's the Bezier curve. Yeah, and now if we try it, it's still, oh, I see what we need to do. Okay, so it's a little bit, wish there was an easier way to, there. And then I have to go down to the spline, there we go, and then click. 660, 630. It's probably going to be 620, but this does have to be precise. 615 maybe. No. You can kind of tell, you know, from the center there, 600, and then this has to be negatree 600. There we go. We got it. And now there's another issue. I want there to be a shelf right underneath it, a small shelf, very, very, very small shelf. So to do that, we really need this to be. Let's move this whole thing up a little. See, is that enough? 30. 35. Okay, there. Now I can put a shelf right underneath it. It's just a mini shelf. So it's the same thing. Wall top. Okay, now I'm just going to sloop it down. Let's sloop. Okay, see what I'm doing here? Oh shit.
Beth Shadow Killer said, "Hi, Culve House and
Hey,
crew.
Beth.
Making my rare vacation popping."
Hope the vacay is going
Elder
well.
Colve House said, hey at best Shadow Killer. Just doing game dev. Hope vacay is going well.
Hamilton Shields at Eat. Hello, Beth.
We really should avoid overlaps, but I guess that's okay. Okay, now what we do is scale this side way down to something like, I just want there to be a little shelf to help the player a little bit, like that. Okay, and now we're going to duplicate that onto other side. Onto other side. And then we have to try to place it as close as possible to match that we did over there. Oh yeah, this is the part where it doesn't quite line up. So we have to turn that off and then line it up ourselves. This isn't helping. Oh shit. Yeah, here we go. Wait, are we looking at the wrong side? Yeah, we have to be looking at the right side. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there. Now it's almost like, hey, I got it really close. Just no cigar. Okay, that's close enough. Well, no it isn't. Let's get it as close as we possibly can. Okay, 74, 73. There, that's it. All right, and save all, Perspecto. Okay, now notice how this messed up. See, it messed up the UVs again. Well, we'll fix that after a bit, but we don't have to fix that right now. Let's just press play and see how it plays out. See, it's there to help the user or the player. See, watch. Ding, and then bonk, doing, kink. We might have to detect the trajectory. Like if it's too horizontal, we might have to alter it. And I did that with my other one. Real-time mode is required for modeling tools. Oh yeah. Control. How do you change real time? Wait, it said what? Oh, viewport options, real time. So how do I change real time? Okay, why don't we do
Elder Colve House said, any music requests?
Could do Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Black Flag original soundtrack. I just realized that's probably not the best name for the... There, you should be able to hear a little bit of music. Can you hear a little bit of music? There we go. Okay, anyway, back to this. Now, what did I say we were doing? But yeah, anyway, it will, these shelves are here to essentially help the player. And, you know, like if you didn't get to the edge in time, it'll kind of like bounce off it. So you've got like a playing field. And you're mostly responsible for hitting the ball, but it's a little forgiving. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so there's our playing field. There's our level. Okay, now we have a ball that bounces off the walls and it bounces off the bat, but that's all it does. While it's fun to bounce the ball around and all, we are still sorely lacking bricks.
Time for masonry.
Given that its role is simply to sit there until destroyed, our brick actor is going to be relatively straightforward to build. To knock it out quickly, we can create a blueprint actor named bbrick, add a static mesh component, and make it the root, and then set the mesh to an appropriate shape, and the collision to block all. What he doesn't tell you is that an appropriate shape would be like the cube grid that we created earlier, because we want to be able to control the UVs. If you use a prefabricated square, then you can't control the, you know, there's a lot of things you can't do with it then. And that pisses me off.
How's der Music?
Yeah, we have some alien abductions going on.
Hee alien abduction tonight. But Sonic is streaming newsies on vacay and done is away.
Okay, add a static mesh component. Okay, so bbrick. Well, it's BP brick. That's our naming convention. Okay, so we add our new blueprint. It's an actor, and we call it BP brick. Okay, and then we go in here, and we're going to add one static mesh component. There it is, and we'll name it brick, I guess. And make it the root, then set the mesh. Okay, well, there we go. And now it says set the mesh to something appropriate. But see, you have to be careful. We have to be very careful what we choose. See, we can't just pick like the cube, because then it will screw up. So let's go out. I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. So we go back out here. We're going to create a new cube grid, or a new object out of that same cube grid that we used earlier. There it is. Okay, and we'll just do a full. That's it. That's our little brick. Whee! Okay, cube grid output, cube grid tool output. We're going to name it to brick 1 by 1. Brick 1 by 1. Here's our little brick. Wait a minute. No. Yeah. Cube grid tool output. Brick 1 by 1. Oh, brick 1 by 1. There it is. And then we put that into the actors. No, we put that into, I'm not sure where we put it. We'll put it into framework for now. I'm not exactly sure where to put, you know, the basic meshes. See, now we delete this. Okay, are we deleting the mesh? No, we're just deleting that. We're just deleting that instance, but it's still here. See, we can use it as a static mesh. So now we go into brick. See, it doesn't have a mesh yet, but now we're going to give it the one we just did. Brick 1 by 1. That's what I just created. Here it is. Here's our brick and blocking. Okay, so here's the brick. Now we get to do anything we want. We can scale, we can fart, we can shart. Okay, so let's do scale 1.5. Let's run scale 1.52.
Elder Colvey House said, "Thars are brick."
Okay. So we can actually see that, you know, there is a way to edit the UVs right here, but I would rather not. I would rather edit the UVs in the way that I know how, and there is a way to easily do that. Now notice how I've haven't put any materials on yet. Well, I can put a material if I want, but we don't even have to do that yet. See, we could do that if we wanted. But see, the UVs are wrong. UVs stretched out. So how do we fix that here? Well, I don't know how, but I know how to fix it out in the editor. See, this is still stuff that you have to learn. Okay, now there. We can create a blueprint, add a static mesh, then set the mesh to an appropriate shape, and the collision to block all. Okay, BP brick. Where's the collision? So to block all. Block all. What else did he say? Yeah, collision to block all. Ding ding. Okay, yes, block all. What's this character can step up on? No. Drop a few bricks onto the map, make sure they're Y-aligned with the player bat, and hit play. Let's just see what happens. Okay, now we're going to go into the level. Let's find our brick. BP brick. See, not this, it's this. Bloop. Okay, so first of all, we have to put it at 0, 0, 0 just to get our bearings. There. Okay, now let's bring it up. Yeah. Not so as to make it so hard. There, see, now it's working. So it's bouncing off, but we of course now we have to tell it. We have to tell it exactly what to do, right? Okay, so we got it. We've got our bricks. I also see some. I see some issues. So I have it set to auto. Yeah, let's do auto. Material quality level. Preview rendering level. Should automatically detect my there. It seems to be working a little better now.
Elder Colvey House said, "Bull Brick Breakers was having performance issues."
Okay. Well, that still isn't quite right. While the physics are working fine, the ball and the bricks have no idea what to do with one another when they collide. This means we create an interaction between them that occurs on impact. To achieve that, we're going to use an interface. So let me explain what an interface is. It's a common set of functions you can call on or add to any actor in your game. So it's kind of like master functions or like master actions that aren't tied to one particular actor. If we were to put a bunch of logic into like the ball or the bat, well, if we wanted to have the same kind of behavior, we'd have to copy all that code, or we'd have to copy all those boxes. Well, that's silly. This is how interfaces work. You build an interface to reduce the duplicate code. But only actors that implement the interface can receive them. Any other actor will simply ignore the message. Okay, see, so here's an actor, here's a function call, and then it has to make sure that the actor uses the interface. See, as the less tied to a specific actor your class rules are, the better. You can use the term "you took damage" interface to call trigger completely different behaviors in different actors. See? An enemy loses hit points, a rock wall ignores the message. So using interfaces from the get-go makes it far easier to extend and expand your design. So now we're going to create an interface. We open up the add menu and you'll find interface under blueprints submenu. There it is, blueprint interface. So under the framework, this is where we do it. I'm gonna use son of a bitch. There. Yeah, you can move your stuff around and organize it as you like. See, even after you create something. So that way, our blueprints are in the main framework class. See, these are all blueprints, and then supplemental material is below it, like meshes. Yeah. And we'll eventually make our own materials, so we might as well put materials under there too. It's just a blank folder for now. Okay, now let's do what he said. We're going to add a blueprint interface, BP interface. Create one, name it ball. Oh, it's a ball interface. Okay. We'll call it BPI ball. So it's a blueprint interface. BPIs mean blueprint interface. Click it up to open the interface editor. So here's our interface. If you spent any time looking at macros or functions in the last module, this will seem very familiar. So next we create an interface function, name it BI ball impact, save, and that's it for our interface. Yes. Create a function. Say we add a new function and we call it BPI ball impact. Okay. Ball impact. There, that's all. So his is BI ball impact, but ours is BPI ball impact. What about this? Category default. Let's make sure that's all correct. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. As a general practice, it's a good idea to keep interfaces relatively generic, communicating the bare minimum of information. The reason is because it might be used by more than one item, see, or more than one asset. In this case, a ball hit another object, and let the actor receiving the message handle the results. With our interface created, let's open the BP brick in the blueprint and finish this thing up. Okay, here's our BP brick. There's the brick. we're going to click on class settings. Oh, okay, there it is, class settings. See how this was not selected before. I don't know why, but what else was... Oh, these are the class defaults, but then here's the class settings. And it's a parent class of actor. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, what are we going to do? After compiling, our brick is now able to receive ball impact interface events. Okay. Select add and then pick out there, see? So right now there's no interfaces, so we're going to add the one that we just did, the BPI ball interface. And now we have one interface. It's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. Now our brick is able to receive ball impact interface events. We want the brick to be destroyed on impact, so we add a destroy actor node and we're done for now. Now, he didn't tell you where to go, but it's... Oh, it's in here. It's in here. But, so we created the event here. Call an editor, yes. Compile, save. And BP brick, compile, save. Now we're in the brick, okay? And because we have the interface, now we can call that event BPI ball impact. See? BPI ball impact. And it's an event right there, see? Event BPI ball impact, and then we're going to destroy actor. Destroy actor. Just destroy it. And the target is self. There's no target. But we're in the brick. So see, the target is the brick. I'm just curious if we press play now. What is that? Why is that there? Why is this here? Brick 1 by 1. Oh, did I accidentally put that in the world? Okay, I guess I did. So it's still not working, but I think we have one more thing to do. Yeah, there, see, next up we need the ball to call that interface function on any object it hits. Yes, to do that we need to add some logic to our ball's hit event. Okay, so now we're in our ball. See, the blueprint ball, not the BPI ball. And these really aren't the best nomenclatures. You should probably... We might change this just so we don't confuse it with this. It's only one character off, and I can see how that could confuse people. Okay, and then within the simulation generates hit events. Okay, so we'll go to that now. But where? Our ball's hit event. Yeah, simulation generates hit events. Oh, it's the collision. Yeah, right, because remember, this doesn't have it. This is just movement. So this is where we have to find it. So simulation generates hit events. Good. We already have it selected. Good. But remember, make sure it's unchecked because this affects performance. Firstly, we need to select our collision and use the contextual menu to add a hit event to the graph. Select our collision. And then add event. Event hit. Well, how did he do that? Select a component. No. Yeah, there it is. Collision on hit. Event hit. Okay. All of these pieces of data provided by the hit event is naturally that the actor is hit. All we need to do is send said actor a ball impact interface call and let them process it accordingly. Okay, so this is when this collision, the collision sphere around the ball hits something. See? Like self-moved, other comp, my comp, la la la. So how are we going to do that? As we've already set up our brick to implement the interface, hitting it with a ball will call the BI ball impact event in its graph and thus trigger the destruction logic we authored. Okay, so yeah, now we do BPI ball impact as a message. So we send a message to our event and then other target. Oh, actor object reference, yeah, which is this. It's this. Okay. And then time to see it in action. Let's see if it works. Bonked. There it is.
Elder Colvey House said, bricks are breaking.
Symmetry is breaking. Yep, the bricks are breaking. The brick and blocking are breaking. Good. Okay, so now we've got the that interface call running. Now, just to recap, here's what we did. We created a new interface. It's just BPI ball impact. It doesn't do anything by itself. We then call, we then trigger that function when our collision sphere around the ball hits something. See that? And then we pass this as the target. Now it's going to call this function, and then what happens? Well, we don't know. However, the brick also looks for that event. And then when an event happens, and then it destroys itself. This is essentially destroy itself. It's a little odd, huh? This is what it hit. Yeah, this is actually what it hit. Hit result structure, normal input. See, you can even print out what it hits. Like, we can even say print string. Hey. And find out what we hit. See? But we have to actually keep the logic going. Okay, now let's find out what happens in the output when it hits something. There, see? There, see? It's actually saying brick. See, it knows that it hit brick 2. Bonk. See? BP brick. And now what's it going to say? Doing. creepy Pombat. See what we're, every time it hits something, it tells us what it hit now. Wall top, wall right. Do you like that? Yeah. There's kind of a shadow going on there, but... And then pretty soon it'll say brick 3. Brick 3, see? Yeah. Got it. Got it. Yeah, this is looking good. This is a good time to check things in and commit them to version control.
Elder Colvey House said, okay, version control time with Git.
The reason is we are at a place where, you know, things seem to be working and we don't want to screw things up too badly. So you know, we actually have a git bash. Hey, Sonicus.
Hi. Yep, good version control system.
Yeah, it's a very good version control system. And I will increase this so you can see it. Let's take a look and see if yep, there we go. Okay, now it's a command line, okay? So,
how's NY tonight?
We're gonna go into my documents, and then we're gonna go into Unreal Projects, and Tiny Game 3. And then this is all git controlled. See, so we can, if I just do git status, it'll tell me everything that I changed and then everything that is new. And that's good. Ho, 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 ho. See? Good. Now there's a extra thing I want to do before. Like, I have to make sure that things in the content framework, they're not too big. So in this case, I'm just going to go in manually.
Such a blast today.
Yeah, see, nothing's
Visited
big.
the falls are a little while today and took in some good skyline pics.
Oh. Das gut. Okay, this one's only 14K. See, the squares are easy. They're very, very small. Let's take a look at the level 1 map and level 2 map. Yeah, content maps. These should be pretty... Ooh. Built data. Okay, I don't want that to be checked in, which it won't be, because do you know why? Because I have a filter in the form of gitignore, and here's the gitignore. I think it'll look for any built data. There it is, built data, right there. So it looks through, and if it matches this filter, it won't add it, and that's exactly what we want it to do. Good. Okay, and then content framework, pawn and player controller. Oh yeah, I already looked at those. Okay, good. Okay, we're good. Content framework, yeah, none of these are big.
Visited the Cave of the Winds tunnels and was attacked by the falling mist.
Oh, that's
Elder Colvey
creepy.
House said, oh, creepy.
Okay, so we're doing really well here. So we'll say git add everything, and all of this stuff will be, yeah, all that stuff is going to be pushed when we commit. So now we're going to do git commit, and then let's say we'll say walls and bricks all
More coding.
working for the first time. And that's just the message. Okay, now there we go. We have just committed that to, but we haven't pushed it yet. We have to push it to my Tiny Game 3 repository on GitHub. This is under organizations. You know, like I have, like I told you, I have, here's my profile. Okay, I have my own projects, but then I created an organization called Simple Shorts, and it's really just to keep it separate and organized, see? And then we have 3 repositories, and here's this repository. Okay, so now we're going to get push origin. So our origin is actually that repo right here. So if I do get a pig, whoops, get remote v, it'll tell us what our origin is, and there it is right there. See, https github simple shorts tinygame3. So we do get push origin, and it will push our commit into Git. That's amazing. Okay, and now if we refresh it, well, look at this. Ball, walls, and bricks all working for the first time. If we go in here to content, we'll see that we now have our BPI ball U asset. It's a binary file. You know, it's a actual binary file, but still, it's version controlled.
Elder Colve House said, Intata, version control.
So that's how you do it. Okay, let's get out of here now. We're good. We could do get log just to find out. Let's see. So here's initial commit, first get commit for tinygame, and then this is what I just committed. Ball, walls, and bricks all working for the first time. Good. Now let's keep it open. That was a Linux bash.
That was a Linux bash, where you can execute Linux commands.
Okay, there we go. So we've got the bricks working, and now what do we do? I'm gonna leave that debug message. I kind of like how you can, you know, how it reports whenever it hits something. See, wall left. But now we have to name things properly. Like this one is not named properly. Wall left. Oh, what do you call that? Left, lower left tab. There, and then this one will be wall, lower right tab. There. See, and then of course if we press play, it'll even tell us if it actually bounces off of one of those. I don't think it's gonna actually, yeah, we don't have to do that now. Okay. So there's the hit manager. Yes. Hit play and you'll see your ball spawn, be propelled by the projectile movement component, hit your bricks and send them the interface call that triggers their destruction. In other words, we just made ourselves an entirely playable game prototype.
Prototype is up and running. Yay.
Okay, so the next one, I do have to use the restroom real quick, but if everyone could stay here,
Hooray!
We are going to start creating a game loop. Okay, here is the next module. We'll get through as much of this as we can tonight, and then we'll continue next time. In this installment, we're going to begin the process of transforming our playable prototype into an honest-to-goodness game by building out the framework that sits around our core gameplay, what I'm going to refer to as the game loop. So building the game loop. In simple terms, the game loop is the infrastructure that moves the player between the gameplay and the between session elements that frame and propel their experience. See? So this is how a multiplayer game works. See? Like, you start in the title screen, you know, so you move the player into the title screen, and then from there you move the player into a lobby, and then of course when you're ready to, you queue up, you pick a game, and then you move the player into a game, and then after the game ends you move it into a post-game scenario, like, you know, a splash screen with some stats or something, and then you go back to the lobby, but you're sending the player through these different modules. That's a game loop. given that this game is relatively simple, we mostly need is a title screen plus the score and lives tracking. So let's start with the former, learn the basic concepts, and then go from there. So we're going to create the title screen, and it's actually a map itself. So let us we're going to create a brand new empty level, and then we'll name it title screen. Yeah, we'll keep that same name. Okay.
The game loop
Down
rated R
maps.
now in select Culve House theaters.
Oh, we're going to make a brand new level. Oh shit. Not new world. A whole new world. Huh, interesting how it's not letting me create a new blank map. New level. Empty level. Okay, so it named it Untitled. Oh yeah, save current level as title screen. And we're gonna put it right in maps. And now we got a title screen, but there's nothing there. We'll do that in a second.
Elder Culve House said, title screen coming right up. BRB. All right.
Sonicus Streaminus said, welcome back.
So where are you right now, Sonicus? In hotel room?
Elder Culve House said, are you in hotel room RN?
Okay, now we can do a lot in Unreal 5 to make our title screen
Yeah, in the
eye-catching,
hotel for the night.
from simple particle effects to music or cinematic camera sequences. So this is what he did, see? And we can add, we can work on this later. But for now, we'll focus on building the basics and on-screen text with the name of our game. And to do that, we use UMG widgets. So UMG is a system used for user interface design within the Unreal Engine. Score displays, health bars, loot glint, and widgets are the individual user interface elements we build using that system. We'll be using it to provide information to the player during our game loops, such as their current score or number of lives, but we're just going to make a title screen for now. To start, let's add a new UI widget blueprint class and name it UI Game Title, and drop it in an appropriate folder. Once we open our new widget up, we find ourselves in the UMG editor. Okay, we're going to put that in Framework 2. Add a widget blueprint. There it is, widget blueprint right there. And the most common is a user widget, which is what we're doing, and we'll name it UI Game Title. Let's open up the widget tree. And here we are. We're now
Elder Colvey House said, Kata, user interfaces.
Alrighty. Okay, it can look a little intimidating at first, but I promise we'll get you up to speed in no time. Firstly, we're going to add a new, we're going to add a canvas panel component. Okay. Oh yeah. Here's a canvas panel. Okay, fine. This is the wrong size though, because our game is 1080 by 1920. See, so we'd have to like 1080 by 1920. Yeah. See, it's that size. That's amazing. Okay. And then we'll name this UI title screen. I'm not sure that's exactly a great idea to name it UI title screen. This panel represents the breadth of our 2D space, with anchors determining how our UI elements are scaled and offset at different resolutions. Yeah. For our title screen, we're going to add a text component and anchor it to a canvas center. Now it's just a matter of entering our text displayed and adjusting so it looks appropriate. So we have a widget, but how do we display it on screen?
Streaminess said, the urinary infection screen. Lol JK.
UTI operations.
Yeah, it's urinary tract infection ops. So, you know what's funny? He doesn't show you how to do it, but I know how to do it. Yeah, we create a text component and anchor it to a canvas center. So he doesn't show you that.
Holy bops hearts and pop titty come splashin' glut flubbin' flippy ditty flap and flugin' hat she goes.
So we're going to add a text component. Okay, we will put it under, under the title screen, and anchor it to canvas center. Okay, so here's our text block. Let's size it to the content. And now we're going to hold down Control and anchor it right in the center of the screen. And there it is.
Forgot about that one.
See? And if I change the resolution, it stays in the center. But we're going to do 1920 by 1080. However, it's aligning it to the left, so it's actually not in the center. Okay, let's say text block, and then we'll say Frickin' Brickin'. That's the name of the game. Frickin' Brickin'. Okay. So it looks appropriate. Size 100, size 30. Alignment, size to content. But what I really want is for this to be over here. So it's truly in the center. See, and if I just do this, that's not enough. Justification. Oh, that's not alignment, it's actually more like justification. So how would I do that? How would I anchor this into the... Aha! Like that! And then anchor it to center. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay, okay. Yeah, anchor it to center, but I don't want this to anchor here. Oh, the alignment maybe. Okay, so the size is... Well, what happened to it? So that wasn't it. Edit X. Ficken Bricken. Okay, so size to content, Z order, alignment, size 100, anchor, position, -50. -100. Why was it 100? That doesn't make sense. Canvas panel slot. That really doesn't make sense. And then -30. -15, but that's still not exactly right. -120, and 100. Oh, I see what it did. Are you freaking kidding me? Why does this have to be so complicated? Okay, there. So -100. Yeah, that's actually not exactly correct. -110. And 105 is more like it. Yeah, I don't like that. And then what happens if I add text to it? Then what happens? Yeah, see, it's not centering correctly at all. I'll just have to learn. I'll have to learn this interface later. Let's not worry about it too much right now. And then 30, -30. There we go. Okay, this is going to have to be enough for now. So that's the title screen. Now if we press play, title screen will get. Well, we should have gotten Ficken Bricken, but we didn't. Oh, because we haven't put it on the map yet. Yeah, right. That's right. For a title screen, we're gonna, yeah. So we have a widget, but how do we display it on screen? So the game mode, remember how we used to...
said,
Remember how we used a game mode to set up our example below? We're going to do the same for our title screen, so create a game mode named Game Mode Title Screen and pop it up in the blueprint editor. So the game mode is kind of like an overarching mode, and it is going to be a game mode base again, and we already have one. Our one is called game mode. See, so we're going to add another one, game mode base, and we're going to name it game mode BP game mode title screen. Yeah, I keep my things named a little bit differently. This new mode will link a create widget node to event begin play, set uGame title as a widget and the output to a variable so we can quickly reference our new widget in the event graph. So here's what we do. So event begin play. I mean BP, this is the it's a new collision system.
Elder Colve has said, oh. IT's a new collision system at Sonic 0731.
Yeah, I'll show you really quick. Are you watching? So in the stream avatars, if I go into here, you'll see the collision I did see. So I have them colliding. I have them colliding. Over my webcam, and you can create these new ramps. So here's all the new features. See, you can do ramps, down ramps, up ramps.
Didn't know that you could do that.
New features just released. Sephi has a ramp too.
Yeah. So, and then you see what's happening is now you're like traveling around my webcam, and then I just fell off too, see? And then if somebody walks over,
Interesting.
also teleport.
Also teleport.
Yeah, here's a teleport right over here, see? So if I take my, okay, now I'm gonna take me, where's that good one? Yeah, like if I take you and then drop you on the teleport, poof. Oh, where's the teleport? Yeah, doop. Hey, you're not teleporting. But see, then I put myself here, and then plop. There, see, it's working. And then it looks like they're standing and walking around. And you can around your UI too, Sonic.
You can build ramps around your UI too, Sonic.
Yeah, if you like. It just takes a little bit of troubleshooting. Okay, let's get back to the game. So like we said, we'll link a create widget node. To event begin play, UI game
He's
title is
just
the widget in
teleporting.
question.
How cool.
And the output to a variable, so we can easily reference our new widget on the event graph. So we actually have to do that in this, in our new widget tree, in our new event graph. This is too far over. Yeah. Okay, then create UI title screen widget. Create widget. There it is. And then construct none, but we have to give it a... There it is. It's our UI game title. See? See, this is an example where it's named wrong, but who cares? It doesn't matter. See? And then return value, and then we'll promote this to a variable. And the output to a variable, so we can easily reference our new widget on the event graph. Yeah, but how do you do that? Promote pin to variable. There we go. No, that's not it. That's not what I wanted. Promote to variable. Nope, that's not it. Create UI game title widget. Cast a variable, maybe. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I forget how to do this.
Elder Colby House said, Shart, forgot how to do that.
Sonicus Streaminus said, "Are we linking something together?"
Well, no, I'm trying to create a variable. promote to a variable. And I forget how to do that. Shit. Create UI game title widget. Yeah, which I did. So how do I set variable?
Oh hum.
Variable name is local variable. Yeah. Get variables. Yeah, I really don't remember. Creating widget instantiates our UI element and kits up any associated logic. Yeah, but how do you do that? Well, you're supposed. Oh, you know what? Did I have to do that?
Doug, you have to compile first. Thanks, idiot, for telling me.
There. Now we can promote to a variable, and we promote this to a variable. There. Now we got it. We got it. And then we have to name it something. And then he named it something. UI title screen. That's the variable. See, the variable is over here. UI title screen. And then we make it visible. See, make it visible. Visibility is public and nettable on each instance of the blueprint.
Oh, I see. Compile before making a certain variable.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to compile this, any function, before you can then drag it and promote. See, like that's how we did this, promote to variable. See, and I could even do it here now because I've compiled it again. You can keep promoting things to variables. And then now we're going to add to viewport. And the target should be, yeah, we passed this target all the way through. Ding. Compile, and then now that is the correct logic. Yeah. If you need to hide the widget, you can use a remove from parent node and it will tick along invisibly in the background. It's not necessary for the game, but here's how to do that. Now with all of that done, assign the game mode to your level. Okay, so now we have to go into the world settings. No, but the world settings is just for this level. So see, displays the world settings. No, actually it's not just for this level. It's for the whole frickin' thing. Okay, so here's my world settings, but assign the game mode to your level. But oh, there's the game mode override. Yeah, and our BP game mode should be game mode title screen. But I don't know if that's true for just this level though. And now it works. See, there's our
Elder Colve House said, Lars Fickenbricken. Vikar Scheiß Fritzenbricken.
So, and now that we notice it's pretty small, we can fix that. Let us increase the font size. We only have one font right now, so we're just going to hold on to that for the moment. 60. See, and then it screws up the... I don't get that. And I shouldn't have to do that. I'll have to find out later. Hold Shift to update alignment to match. There. I don't know what I did. I pressed a bunch of buttons and it worked.
Soniku's Streaminess said, what font were you looking to use?
Oh, this is the only font for now. I'll make a cool 70s font later.
Yeah, it doesn't come, the game doesn't come with any fonts. Isn't that weird? I would think it would come with a few, but yeah, that's one thing you have to do
groovy.
yourself. Oh, if you're wondering what soundtrack we're listening to, it's
Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Forrest loves that game.
oh yeah, Assassin's Creed 4, eh? Yeah, I never touched it. Never touched it yet. Oh, where is Forrest tonight? Is he working? Okay, so back to this. Yeah, hit play and enjoy your awesome title screen. Well, kind of awesome. There's no actual functionality here. To create some, we're going to need to revisit a few concepts we've explored
Working
before.
tonight.
The gameplay framework, interfaces, and player controllers. First, let's create a new interface called BI Framework, which we'll use as the primary means of communicating between actors within our game loop. From there, we can create an
Can't have
interface
it spelled out
function
to tune in where
called
you
BI
work.
Start Game. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so we have to do those. We have to create a new interface called BI Framework. Okay, so we already have one interface. See? Actually, I think we have two interfaces, don't we? No, we have one interface. See, it tells us what type it is. Blueprint type normal, 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 normal. Player controller. Oh, the parent class is player controller. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we need a new interface. We'll call it BPI framework. Okay, add blueprint interface, and then we're going to call it almost like what he said, but it's BPI framework. In the framework folder. From there, we can create an interface function named BI Start Game. I think we'll call it BPI Start Game. Yeah. Inside here, the new function is called BPI Start Game, and there's our function. Blueprint submenu. Once again, we can leave the interface blank. Next up, we'll need a player controller for our time spent outside the core gameplay. So let's make a new one named Player Controller Menu and open that up. Okay, so we do have one player controller already, but then there's another player controller that is controlling when we're in the menu. So let's get that going. Add blueprint, player controller, and then we'll call this BP player controller menu. Okay. There she goes. I can't really oh yeah, there you can, now you can see it.
Sonicu's Streaminess said, separate controllers for game and title.
Elder Calder House said, yeah, it's kind of wonky though.
Yeah, there should be different player controllers when the actual functions are different. Like in the title screen, yeah, the functions are different. You're not moving a bat around. So that's why they suggest you should have it. That's why it needs its own player controller. Okay, here's where we're going to implement some basic logic that will allow the player to start or quit the game using the same input actions as our core gameplay. Okay, since
That's
we're
very odd.
in a different game mode,
Well, to separate the keyboard/mouse inputs.
yeah, So to quit the game using the same input action, yeah, since we're in a different game mode, there's no chance of one input overriding another. See, it's how to keep the inputs separate. So we're going to add 2 input actions. Positive is left click, and then negative is escape. Input positive, input negative. Okay, fine. Yeah, so we have to go all the way into the project settings now, and then under engine input. So we've already got our mouse input. Remember that? That's the axis mapping for move mouse, mouse X, because we're only moving it back and forth. That's really our only, that's our only control. And then and then we're going to add action mappings now. Yeah, see, action mappings. So let's add one for ding, input, positive. And then that's going to be left mouse click, ding. Okay, and then another one which is input, negative. And then that's going to be the escape button. There, left mouse button and escape. And let's make sure that he has both. Yes, escape. Got it. Oh, that's how you, yeah, that's how we're going to end the game. But that's how you end the game in the browser. I mean, you know, right in the editor anyway. So let's temporarily change that to Q. Q for quit. Q. Q for quit. All right. The actual logic is pretty simple. Just have input action positive call the BI start game on our game mode and connect input action negative to a quit game node. Oh. Okay. Input action input. Input action. Oh, positive. Okay. So input action positive. Input positive. There it is. Input action input positive does what? This starts the game. But we have to get the game, you know, the main game mode. Okay, so it's get game mode. BI start game. So it's actually BPI start game. Ding, that doesn't work. So we have to do BPI start game with the message. There now, if it's pressed, there it is. So this will start the game. And there's another one down here. See, input action negative, and we'll just quit the game. Get out of there. Input action negative, there. And then this simply quits game. Quit game. La. Oh wow, we have our platform restrictions. And back in our game mode, we have to point it at our new player controller and add the BI framework interface to the class settings. Back in our menu game mode, let's make sure we're in the right place. Yeah, it doesn't actually say it right here, does it? Oh, there it is, BP game mode title screen. let's point it at our new player controller and add the BI framework interface to the class settings. Yeah, so this is how you do that. So the class settings, BPI framework, we have to add it here. BPI framework, there, got that. Okay, so now that's here as an interface. We also have to point it at our new player controller, so that's in the details. There, the parent class. Class defaults. Yeah, there we go. Classes. Game session class, game state class, player controller class. There we go. There's the one where we changed to our new BP player controller menu. There it is. And then we added the BPI framework. Now we can compile and then add a BI start game event and use it to remove the UI title screen. Yeah, because see, we actually haven't. But where do we do this? Now we compile. Oh, we do it in here, I guess. Because we're in the BP Game Mode title screen. Yeah. BPI start game. Okay, and then we're going to do once. And then once it's completed, we're going to remove from parent. Oh, we're removing the title screen. That's what this is. See? And then this is the UI title screen. There. And then we're going to open a new level, and then that's going to be level 1. Open level by name. And this is going to be level 1. Okay. Now hit play when you click the mouse. It'll load right into your prototype level. Okay. Let's see if that's true. We have to save all. Okay, Ficken Bricken, and now I'm going to press click, and that opens up the level. That's amazing. Okay, now I'm going to find out if the queue is working. Let's press Q to quit. It did not work. It did not quit. It did not quit at all. So whatever he said about the quit part, that does not work. See? Input action negative, pressed quit game. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't work. There, input action negative, quit game. Maybe it's the wrong one. No, I'm sure it's the right one. See, quit game. Pressed, quit game. And the input action negative, let's make sure it is set correctly. Input action Q. Input action negative Q. So what's the deal? I wonder why it isn't working. Title screen. This works if I press click and then it goes right in there. But then if I do this, nothing happens. So this is where you would have to do a quick thingamabob. Yeah, we'll just do a debug message. So let's start with print string trying to quit. There. Trying to quit. So this way, we'll at least be able to tell if we're even detecting the queue. Okay, here we go. No, we're not detecting the queue. See? But yet if we go back into there, let's close a couple of these. We don't need ball and we don't need the pawn bat for now. We go into here and then we do this. Print string. And then clicked. So now it should tell us that we clicked. Yes, clicked. But then for some reason it's not detecting. Oh. You have to start. You have to click something to start. Yeah, see, so now I can press Q and then it will, and then it ends.
Elder Calvé has said, put his workings.
That's how you do it. Okay, now because that was a really simple troubleshooting step and we've got it, now we have to get rid of the print strings and reconnect these. I wish there was an easier way to do that, but oh well.
Sonicu's Streaminess said, well, that's good.
Das gut. Okay, let's get the event tick out of there. Good, compile, save all, just for the hell of it.
Okay, we're wrapping up for tonight. We'll probably have 3 more streams to go with this game.
Oh,
Polish it up and
Sonicus.
add fun levels.
Sounds like a plan, but
Sonicus will add fun levels together with your input and audience.
oh,
Yeah, so here's just one level I was thinking of, Sonic. So check this level out. Level 2. Now watch this. Watch this. See, I was thinking that one of the levels you can do this with the controller. See, so you could just stay down here like normal, right? But you could also go all the way up. I mean, this isn't exactly right, but you see what I mean? Like you can move the controller all the way up and keep hitting the ball way up here if you want. I thought that would be a fun level.
Wrap around paddles, haha.
Yeah, so that's another idea. Okay, so now we're going to save all, make sure that everything is
yeah,
compiled.
we can check it out when I get back.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'll still be developing it by the time you come back.
Yeah, I'll still be in development.
Okay, so now lastly, one thing I always like to do is now we go and find out what changed. Now we're back in Git, remember, okay? Git status. We have created the title screen, the UI game title asset, the player controller menu asset, game mode title screen, framework, content maps level 1. Oh yeah, we changed level 1 and we changed the default input. That was the project setting. See, this is all part of the project settings. So now we're going to git add all of that and then git status. There it is. These are the things that are getting committed. Git commit with a message. Add a title screen with start and quit inputs. There it goes. And we've added that, and now we'll git push origin. Okay, and then we just double check over there in GitHub to make sure that our stuff has been updated, and I'm sure it has. There it is. See, there's our game title. There's our new player controller menu. There's our game mode title screen. There's all this stuff. That's hard. Notice that the new materials folder that I created hasn't been added yet. It's because there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there on my local system yet. So GitHub doesn't create a folder structure unless there's something in there. You know,
Sonicu's 3 minutes said 19 seconds.
I could force
What a
it.
record.
Baha Yen.
Oh, where did you see 19 seconds? Oh yeah, 19 seconds ago. Added the title screen with start and quit inputs. And we're on the main branch. I'm only using one main branch. I would only branch things if I wanted to test something. And you almost never fork. You don't dare fork. You just fork someone else's code, right? If you mean to work on it yourself. This should not be up so high. Yeah, you have to understand a lot about version control. There's pull requests. Pull requests are quite a common thing. I won't really do any pull requests for myself. You know, it's just me working on the project. Okay. When is the next stream? The next stream is going to be Saturday.
Next stream will very likely be Saturday night, or possibly even tomorrow night.
Okay, thanks for being here, everybody. Mr. Milkman resubbed, so let's get his end credits up there. And here is the little event box full of stuff and chart. I wish this camera did a better job at focusing things properly. I mean, not focusing, but did color correction a little better. God, that's like way down. Yeah, my color correction was way off tonight. It's still off. Looks like I have yeller hair, and I don't have yeller hair. Let's see what else. Who else was? Sonic was here. Steven. It didn't mention Madam Roast Beef. That's interesting. It really should, because he was here. And then Mr. Milkman resubbed. Alrighty, we'll see you next time. Is there anyone? Let's see if anyone is streaming game development. Who's streaming game development? Oh, Team Bash is.
3 minutes said, good night, Culvey.
Pomodoro co-working. I don't know. I don't really see anything immediate. Let's see if anyone's doing Unreal Engine 5. Who's online right now?